Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comedian, host of Bachelor Nation News, and we have Andi Dorfman getting... Dorfman. She's not a doorman anymore. Open the doors to love. Here she is. Andi Dorfman is engaged to boyfriend Blaine Hart. She says, I finally found love. Ladies and gentlemen, she said yes. She says yes. Andi Dorfman, not Dorman, is engaged to boyfriend Blaine Hart. I finally found love. Blaine visited my parents in Atlanta to ask both of them for their blessing, and even called my sister to ask for hers as well. And they said, anyone but Nick. I'm just kidding. That just epitomizes the kind of man Blaine is. She tells people exclusively. So as you guys know, this is how it works. You get engaged, and you do a deal with people. They pay you a couple $100, and then they post it on their thing. Look, she must have known. She said she was surprised. Come on, she's got her nails done. I'm calling BS on that one, right? I know where you're at, ladies. Andi Dorfman has found her happily ever after. People can exclusively reveal that the season 10 Bachelorette is engaged to her boyfriend Blaine Hart. The romantic proposal occurred at the beach at sunset. It was a really great and intimate. Blaine told me he had dinner reservations and asked if I wanted to do sunset cocktails on the beach, which is something we do all the time here in LA. The 34-year-old Bachelor alum tells people exclusively. We get down to our spot, pour some wine, walked toward the water, and when I turned around, he was on one knee. I don't even remember what he said. I just remember hugging him and crying. I didn't even remember seeing the ring at first. And then after, the best part was, he told me instead of dinner, we were going to stay the night at Hotel Bel Air. So we drove home to pack a bag, and when I opened the door to our home, both of our families and my closest friends were there to surprise me. That's when I really started bawling. Hey, Hotel Bel Air, can we get a free night stay if we get in People magazine? Oh, will you throw on an extra brunch if we get Dave Neal to power recap it? All right, we're all on board. Here it is. Adds Dorfman. My nephew and niece were there and came running up to us. It was adorable. And turns out Blaine had been planning with our families and my friends for a month to get it all organized, and I had absolutely no clue. Yeah, you need to be really good at lying to your loved ones in order to pull off a good proposal. That's the key. The key to love? Lying. No, nothing's going on, honey. Where'd that 10 grand go? No, nowhere. 10 grand. Probably costs a lot more than that. Prior to her beau's romantic proposal, the newly engaged couple picked out the stunning diamond ring together. I was so surprised. I had already shopped for the ring. They used the same jeweler who made an engagement ring for Dorfman's mother almost 40 years ago, an element that made it all really special. I love that it is more traditional with the halo and split shank, but mostly it sounds like they're ordering a steak. Yeah, can I get the New York strip? You don't have that? Okay, then can I get the halo with the split shank? Can you make sure you dip it in and do it medium well? I love, she continues, I love too that Blaine visited my parents in Atlanta to ask both of them for their blessing, and even called my sister to ask for hers as well. That just epitomizes the kind of man Blaine is. There they are. She's looking at him like, yeah, she's like, we're not signing a prenup, right? And he's like, oh, let's go. And there they are, folks. And there's the ring. Bedazzled. There's the shank itself. Yeah, I've never heard of a diamond referred to as a shank. Oh, look at this shank. Very shankless of them to get this. I don't know anything about rings other than that they're overvalued and really intrinsically worth nothing. But here we are, folks. I'll be honest, the idea of planning a wedding is overwhelming for me. You're telling me? Oh my gosh, if you want to follow my wedding journey here, Tasha and I have been planning our wedding. We had a date that we might have lost because someone can't do it, and then the flight costs and global, there's a Cold War happening. Patreon.com/Dave Neal if you want the private membership-only content about us planning our date of our wedding and all that jazz. The idea of planning a wedding is overwhelming for me, but I joke with Blaine that I want to play the role of the groom during the wedding process, and maybe he can narrow every option down to 3, and I'll choose from there. All right, he can be the bride. No worries. I'm okay reversing gender roles after eliminating herself from Juan Pablo's season airing in 2014. So that was 8 years ago, so she was 26. She became Bachelorette for its milestone 10th season. She got engaged to winner Josh Murray later that year, but they announced their split in early 2015. No mention of any other small YouTubers. No mention of Nick Viall here. I wanted to protect Blaine a bit from the world of the public eye, and I didn't want to play a role in our relationship. But it's fun for me to share it now, and it makes me feel really good to see that people are truly happy that I finally found love. Reed, I didn't want to announce it with Blaine until we got a good sponsorship deal. Hey, you know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Not only do we love each other tremendously, but we like being with each other. Well, then you haven't been with each other long enough. Because when you're 10 years in, and she wants Bridgerton, and you want to watch BattleBots, there's no love to be lost. BattleBots. I don't even play BattleBots. It's just, that's a fun word. BattleBots. BattleBots is when, two women fight at Bachelor in Paradise. We both just want to, WD-40, we both just want to make the other happy, and in turn, our relationship is a lot of fun. Oh, wrong one. That's the word I'd use to describe our relationship, fun. It's not about it being easy or hard. That's not our barometer. I knew Blaine was different, and I remember just hoping that the shoe wouldn't drop, and this was the real deal, and it turned out it was. So there they are, folks. There they are. What other info do we have here? Let's turn the music off here. Here's Andi, and she posted her photo. Worth the wait. And then all the comments, oh my gosh, congrats, I can't believe it, STFU, rolling on the floor, LMAO. Wow, look, even Nick with a comment there. No one's commented under his, but of course, Nick was one of her finalists here. And of course, we remember on her season, this went down.
She's just more in love with Josh, a fact we think might have sent Nick over the edge. Nick calls out Andi for taking things too far at times, and in case you're wondering,
check this out right here.
Too far means, well, he clarifies during his
Wait, do you remember this? This was a while ago, but of course, when we criticized Clayton this year for like mentioning that he made love to the different women there, this isn't, we bring up these receipts of how these complicated conversations have happened. If you're going to fall in love on camera, you want to, you might have questions you want answers to.
Sit down with her on the After the Final Rose special.
If you weren't in love with me, I'm just not sure why you made love with me. I don't.
So
Ooh, if you weren't in love with me, why did you make love with me? If you didn't love my Harrison, why'd you pump my Palmer? You know what I'm saying? All right, that's the wrong one. If you didn't love my Harrison, why'd you pump my Palmer? Okay, folks, let's get into it. Does this channel make content anymore? Look at that. They have, this is a channel that used to be very popular. Now we have 6 times the amount of views. Wow. And they have 345,000 subscribers. And look where we're at. You know what I mean? Hanging out at 54,900. 54,000. Can you get me up to 55,000? I mean, we're being passed by other small YouTube channels here. So that's all we really need to share when it comes to this video. We're happy for Andi and her new relationship. And, when you look at the sort of family tree of Bachelor Nation, you have a lot that has come from Andi, right? You've got Nick and then Josh Murray, both sort of villains and also not villains, like depending on who you look at it, divisive maybe. Yeah, most people on The Bachelor are. We pick sides when there's relationships and breakups, but I don't hate the idea of Nick asking Andi about why she took him to the old fantasy, the banger. Hey, these are questions worth asking, I guess, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going down in there. They're not playing Parcheesi all night, are they? I don't know. They're playing BattleBots. All right, folks. Oh my gosh, is right. So let me know what you guys think. If you want content on my wedding planning, yesterday was a tough one. Today felt a little bit better, but we're working through a soft World War III, Cold War era. Gas prices are crazy. We're trying to look at flights and compare things, and we're slinging Bitcoin. I mean, it's a mess trying to plan a wedding. Venues, there's a 40% surge in wedding planning because we all decided we'd stay inside for 18 months, and then now we're just trying to sling a couple vows. Can a man sling a couple vows? Let me know what you think. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. And congrats to Andi and your significant other. We wish you the best. She said yes. Bye-bye now.